Alright. What is new for next patch? 14.7 systems. Following up on the previous patch changes, further nerfs to support items. Nice. Shield nerfs are a follow-up of the crit item buffs from last patch. Champions like Jinx and Zeri are too strong, but other champions are the right power level. Approximately. That's nice. I do think Shiv should just get 100 or 200 gold increase. Probably 100. And then see if it's still OP or not. But I think this is fair. Either that, or they keep it as a low price and they nerf some stats on it. Last patch follow-up. Some champions were overbuffed or nerfed from last patch. Galio, Kayn, Smolder, and Karma support. We're directionally happy with where the changes from these champions landed, but power level is a bit off. For the champions who were nerfed, Kayn and Smolder were aiming about halfway to where they were before, and in the case of Karma support, getting her back to where she was, now that Meat is in a better spot. For Galio, we're aiming to put him back to where he was, but just with a power redistribution to be more about HP builds and longer rotations. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. So Galio, first of all, definitely needs buffs because that champion got nerfed. So based on this, it just means that they're not gonna buff damage, which I think is where the issue is. They're gonna probably make either give him another HP scaling somewhere or maybe make it stronger. I'm not sure how to feel about this, but I guess we'll see. For Kayn, I genuinely wish the champion never got any buffs. Fuck that champion. Man, if I was a designer, I'd keep this champion weak forever. Fuck this design. Smolder, I'm fine with buffs of Smolder. I do think it's weak, but obviously Riot is like kinda having an issue right now where like Smolder is like one of the highest ban rate champs in the game at every elo. And now buffing it is gonna tilt people to oblivion. Karma, also I'm not a big fan of Karma buffs. Like I know that they're saying Karma support, so like what? They're gonna buff like mana region or something? Like I doubt that it's probably gonna also buff Million Karma, right? Supports. This patch, a common chant is reducing damage dealt by supports and increasing their utility outputs. Okay, so we reacted already to that on PB. They're doing it to Sona and Nami specifically, where they're basically making their spells do less damage, but their spells like heal or shield or whatever more. Okay, this is good. I think this is good. We're also making some changes to move Camille's primary role back to top lane. It's okay if Camille support is valuable sometimes, but it shouldn't be at the expense of her primary role, and it shouldn't be dominant role either. So this part, it's not surprising to anybody. This is just meant to happen. This was very obvious. They're probably gonna buff scaling, I would assume, like per level, because Camille top lane gets way more levels. They're gonna probably nerf like, early game stats, I would assume, stuff like that. Bloodsong is also getting nerfed this patch, so Bloodsong is a huge reason why Camille support is so broken. That's also gonna get nerfed. But also wish Riot would look at some bruiser items, because I think right now some bruiser items are way too good, and some of them are way too bad. Janna is purposely off this list as she's being nerfed by both Zazax and Mandate. We'll re-evaluate if this isn't enough. Okay. Like, I try to be positive, but they genuinely deserve to be flamed for this. Janna has been dodging nerfs for like 6 months now, ever since her mini rework came in. Like, I don't know. She is so fucking broken, patch after patch. I have no clue how the fuck they're not nerfing her. Every patch they have an excuse. Last patch they were like, we're nerfing support items by 200 gold. We're gonna wait for Janna nerfs. This patch, another excuse comes in. Like patch after patch, right? It's Freak's most played champion as well. No surprise there. Like it's legit Maokai all over again, right? Like the community begged them to nerf Maokai for God knows how many months. Now, like Janna is just dodging nerfs, just like Maokai. Like, how long does it take you to nerf a champion, but at least by 1 to 2% win rate? She's so broken. And no skill. Brain that kit. Ever since Riot made Janna be about W instead of Q. W first max ability. Point and click, brain that ability. She doesn't even lose the movement split anymore when she uses W. It is so brain dead. It is one of the most brain dead supports in the game. Like, I would rather have Blitzcrank be 54% win it, because at least you have a chance to dodge his hook than Janna. Oh man, it tilts me so hard. Like this, I don't care. Like, they need to be flamed for this. Like, genuinely. I hope Reddit makes 20 threads about this and flames them. And then, okay, so that's it for the description. So let's see what else they're buffed. So Galio, this is good. Kayn, no, not a fan. The Lux, So okay, so those Lux deserve buffs. Based on my based on like how I checked how she's doing, she does actually deserve to be buffed. She's mainly a low elo problem. When she's good, because in low elo people move worse and people dodge her abilities worse, and then she can land way more Qs and ults. So in low elo, Lux is kind of like a low elo Q champion. Yeah, I'm okay with Lux buffs. They're probably gonna be mid oriented. We'll see. Nasus, I'm surprised about this. I suppose I'm a little bit surprised, but I guess. Well, if you think about it, he got nerfed with Frozen Heart being worse, right? Like Frozen Heart getting 200 gold increase did make Nasus a bit worse, but yeah, I don't know. Nasus buff. Not a big fan of Nasus because, well, he's kind of outdated, right? His kit is pretty much just point and click mostly. Yeah, I guess we'll see. Olaf is getting buffed for jungle, so they're gonna maybe give him like a monster mob damage or something like that. Okay, sure. But the problem with Olaf is they have to be really careful because Olaf top lane is actually just generally like one of the strongest picks in solo queue, like Diamond Elo, Master Elo. So unless it's like a monster mod damage, this is scary. Smolder, I'm fine with it personally. I don't think Smolder is OP at all, and I think he does need a buff, but I know the community is not going to be happy about this. And then Salah Jungle. So, Salah Jungle, we're going to react to this, but let me tell you, the Salah Jungle buff is irrelevant. I'll tell you soon. Fiora nerf. Riot needs to be praised for this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fiora is... Fiora got such a placebo nerf the last time. In fact, she probably got a buff because last time they nerfed her W, but then buff Ravenous Charge on the same patch. Thank God Fiora's getting nerfed. Hopefully this time it's not going to be something useless. Rek'Sai, I've called it. If you guys watch me, I've called it so many times. I said this champion is OP. People are just not realizing it. Now, Rek'Sai got really popular top lane. She's Giga OP in top lane, and she's also OP in jungle in Haida. Hopefully, Riot nerfs Rek'Sai's passive. Rek'Sai's passive is way too overtuned. Rek'Sai top lane build needs to die. That shit is way too overtuned. Like, it's literally Varmok on crack. Ral Jungle. Okay. So this is a big topic in the discussion right now in the League community. Because Ral Jungle, for those who don't know, on PB, her monster mod damage just got removed on every ability. Which means that Ral Jungle will die. Ral Support will be the same. Ral Jungle will die completely if those changes go through. And then people on Reddit and Twitter are complaining that like, wow, why would Riot do this? Why would Riot do this? Like, what do you mean why would Riot do this? This is like actually a fucking good change. Like, God bless they do this. First of all, okay, if you don't know, Ral Jungle is super unpopular pick and is doing shit in solo queue in everywhere besides like super high elo. So for 99.9% of player base, this pick is useless. On the other hand, it is one of the most brain-dead, unskilled champions that pro players play. This is like one of the best changes ever. In fact, okay, Riot should probably be flamed for ever introducing Ral into jungle in the first place. It's a flex picks in pro. It has giga broken Q smite interaction that has never been fixed. How you cannot outsmite this champion. It has insane clear. It has like crazy tankiness in pro play and the utility this champion brings. It's just a pro play problem. It literally brings nothing in solo queue. Now, there is a good argument. There is a good argument here that like maybe they should have just kept some of the monster mods and nerfed them by like 50%. So Ral Jungle isn't completely that in solo queue if some like Bronzy wants to play it. But it dies in pro play. That could be a good argument, but they just don't want to support it. They did the same thing with Blitzcrank, if you guys remember. One of the patches long time ago, they buffed Blitzcrank's jungle clear and then killed it off 3 patches later because they realized no one's playing it and it's not successful. So honestly, this is a good change, okay? Another thing I can tell you is that last patch when Riot removed Doran's Blade and Doran's Ring, being able to be purchased by supports and junglers was a genuinely amazing change when people were complaining, oh, but you kill variety and blah 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 blah. This Ral Jungle, long term, will be a good change. I hope she dies forever in jungle. Then we have Volibear. Volibear, I'm actually surprised he's getting nerfed again. I honestly think Volibear is way more balanced after the nerf they did last patch. Because now I feel like when I play against Volibear, I can actually like, there's a lot of cases where I outcut his Q and then he's no longer that oppressive. But I kind of also get the fact that like Volibear is just a, like the Volibear's kit is just like very brain dead. And a lot of champions in League suffer from that. Like there just isn't much gameplay against Volibear. Either he Qs on you and gets on top of you and then just fucking outstat checks you, or he doesn't and he dies. there is not much gameplay in his kit. So it is probably better for League of Legends as a game, for Volibear to be in a bad spot. That is just reality, okay? And a lot of champions suffer from the same exact issue. It's not just a Volibear thing. Okay, so then we have champion adjustments. We have Camille. Again, they're gonna buff top, try to like skew her stats more into top lane, less of a support, okay? Karma. Probably, yeah, again, Karma trying to skew her stats more into support, less for mid lane, okay? Nami. This is just gonna be pretty much a very light adjustment. I already reacted to it, but basically slightly less damage for Nami, slightly more utility, okay? Nunu, recommended items, this doesn't do anything. And Sona, same as Nami, literally the same. And then system nerfs Bloodsong. This is going to be a massive support nerf to a lot of champions that abuse Bloodsong. You also have to understand that a lot of supports that don't rely on items like Bloodsong will become better, right? Maybe like something like Soraka as an example. But yeah, Senna is going to be sad. Panton, I don't know what else. Bart buys this. Sona technically buys this. I'm missing like a champion that likes a really blue Camille support. Yeah, Imperial Mandate. I'm a bit surprised about that. I don't know which champion exactly is making this item problematic. Maybe it's just too strong. I'm not sure. And then Static Shield, this is fine. And Zazak's Ram Spike, this is also fine. Zazak nerf is also going to nerf strats like Velko support, strats like Hui support, okay? Because mages and support, like even Locke support in Loyla, mages and support are abusing this item a bit too much. Like Zyra is also getting hit with this, but it's probably not enough. But, one of the problems, if you look at the patch, is that it's a very small patch. Yeah. I think Riot is now slowly slowing down with the amount of changes they bring into patch, and this is going to be a very small patch, because you have to understand that most of these buffs, most of these nerfs, and most of these adjustments won't do anything. It won't shift the meta. It will barely move needles by 1% win rates or whatever. So, yeah, this is just going to be mostly a useless patch. Now, okay. So Salah's change apparently is going to be Q explosion monster damage increased from 40 to 70%. Minions is still 40. Trust me when I say this buff is fucking useless. It is not going to realistically increase your clear speed by much. He's still going to be one of the worst clears in the game. It's not the reason why you're not picking Salah's jungle. I genuinely think this is going to do more harm than good, because people will get baited by this buff. They're going to pick it in solo, not realizing the champion still sucks. And then they're gonna slowly, over like weeks/month, drop the champion completely, and it's gonna die again. That's my prediction. Rel changes, base MR by 2 up, MR growth increased by a little bit, and then Q, W, and E will no longer do monster damage. So basically, Rel support will be a little bit better. Rel jungle will die. That's pretty much it. And then Rexa nerf, I didn't even see this one, but it is actually a passive nerf. And it's by 2% in early game, which does absolutely nothing. Rexa will still be overturned. If this is the only nerf they're doing, this is a joke. This is a joke. I have no clue how they thought this is a type of nerf that's gonna make Rexa be any weaker. We're getting some changes in right now. Fiora base CD reduced from 68 to 65. Amazing. Love it. This is a good nerf. This is actually an impactful nerf, I think. This is very, very good. Huge for early game, especially. Nice. Camille changes, Q attack speed increased by 10%, Q cooldown reduced to 9 to 5. E base damage reduced. Early rank. So okay, so it's kind of like they're trying to like nerf Camille support a bit, but then buff Camille top lane. But then again, yeah, because Camille support maxes E first, right? And Camille top lane maxes Q first. This does make sense. It is a Camille support nerf. But I think the massive nerf that Camille support is gonna get is from Bloodsong, not from this, so... And I don't know if this makes Camille top lane that much better. I mean, the Q buff on lower CD max rank is pretty good, to be honest. It makes her Q way more spammable. Not bad.